Sichuan Province upgraded and issued an orange flood warning at 5 p.m. on August 16. At 7 p.m., the peak flow of the Tuo River was about 8,100 cubic meters per second, the largest flood peak that has passed through Jintang County since the beginning of this century. Severe floods hit many parts of Chengdu, the capital city of Sichuan. The water in the old town of Jintang County reached the second floor. Local residents said the flooding was mainly caused by the discharge of water from upstream. Mr. Li, a resident of Jintang County, told the Epoch Times that the ground floor of the old town was completely flooded for nearly a day after the flooding began on August 15th. It wasn't until the afternoon of the 17th, when the flood peak passed, that the water level began to recede. He said there were two main reasons for the flooding in Jintang. First of all, the location is special. There are several rivers flowing into the Tuo River, so the ability to discharge the flood is relatively poor. Second, such a severe flood was mainly because of the upstream discharge, rather than the heavy rainfall reported by the Chinese media. This amount of rain cannot flood the first floor. It's mainly because of the flood discharge, he said. It has flooded 3 times in just a few days.
The
flood was severe yesterday. I heard it's the biggest ever, the biggest in 30 years. Our Ginkgo village hadn't been flooded before except in 1947 and 1981. None of the houses were completely flooded. This time it's almost completely flooded.
All flooded. How deep is the flood?
Some are about 3.5 feet, some about 2.5 feet, some about 1 feet. The least flooded houses had about 5 inches of water.
Is your home flooded?
Yes, it's flooded. I'm cleaning up now. I can't stay on the first floor because my house is flooded 4 feet deep.
Did you have any loss, or were all items moved to the second floor?
Loss of 20 or 30,000 yuan. My refrigerator is more than 8,000 yuan, and the washing machine is more than 5,000 yuan, and the air conditioner and the furniture and the chickens, ducks, rabbits.
Mr. Li, Jintang County, Sichuan Province.
Is the flood in Jintang still severe now?
The flood peak passed this afternoon. It's over 8,000 cubic meters per second. Now the water level is slowly receding.
When did it start to go up?
It's been several days since August 15th. The old town is all flooded now. Last night, the first floor of the old town was completely flooded.
Is the whole first floor flooded? The water line reached the second floor?
Yes, that's right. It reached this position last night.
Is it because of the heavy rain, or is it because of the flooding?
Mainly the upstream discharge. Our position here is relatively special. There are 3 rivers converging to the Tuo River. The channel has widened a little in the past few years. However, the Tuo River is narrow in some places, so the ability to discharge the flood is still relatively poor.
Have the local people been informed about the flood discharge?
Yes, but the flow of water is too great. In 2018, it was only about 6,000 cubic meters per second. At every move this year, it's been over 7,000 or 8,000 cubic meters. We can't stand it. That's too much.
Is this the first time, or has it been flooded before?
It has been flooded several times. This year, the flood is even bigger than in 1981. The flood of this year is the biggest in history.
Is this the first flood this year, or has it flooded a few times already?
It's flooded 3 times this year. There's been 3 flood discharges this year.
Is this the 3rd time?
Yes, it's flooded 3 times in just a few days due to discharges.
One netizen asked, why can those strange things be on the hot search, while a county being flooded can't? Is public opinion suppressed? If you want to know about the latest flood situation without official warning, you can only search for news on Weibo. If the flood happens once in Jintang, we can call it a natural disaster. But one flood after another, it should be called a man-made disaster, right?